Three major areas of analytics, of understanding, asking questions about our working environment in public administration. The first will be on measuring things. How do you measure? Well, because that's the first step towards truthful or objective response, is to understand the reality. But then also, how do you bring that data into a single unified place where you can do analysis? And I know that the OHCS has been thinking about how do you build a data architecture? And then finally, when you have that data in one place, how do you do analysis? And do those analysis such that you actually improve human resources? How do you do what Madam Elizabeth was saying, is to really change the policies of the OHCS and of the public service of Ghana?
Usually we might be able to do some exploration at the beginning that's just very descriptive without an idea of a theory of change. But when we start asking our questions about why or how this has happened, we are often making some assumptions about a theory of change, maybe without even realizing it.
In this chapter, we talk about how to ensure credibility, transparency, and reproducibility for research projects. In theory, the design is the most important part of research credibility. But modern practices require committing to specific research decisions because of the large amounts of flexibility that we know researchers have throughout the course of a research project.
For you to be able to prepare for data collection, you're going to be able to understand You're going to have to be able to understand each step of this data collection process. You need to know every detail and how they are connected, because each step of this process is connected to the other ones. And you need to plan each of them and how one goes after the other to be able to do this well. You need to understand that this is going to be a continuous flow of information. And then if you have some issue in one of them, this will have consequences to the next of them.
A 2016 report by Crowdflower found that data scientists spent on average 20% of their time acquiring data, 60% cleaning and organizing it, and only 20% of their time was spent on data analysis. Development research follows a similar pattern, with potentially more time being spent on data acquisition relative to other tasks when a project collects primary data. No content changes are made to the data. So the output of this process, the clean dataset, contains the same information as the original dataset, but in a more user-friendly format.
I'm going to be focusing now on 3 pillars of data visualization best practices. The first one has to do with storytelling. The second one has to do with focusing attention. And the third one has to do with choosing the right visual.
We don't have information on what each person said in response to a given question, but we do have a variable which tells us what is the overall share of this answer. So let's say in the Citizenship and Leadership Training Center, which was an officials level survey, how many people were of service grade level G01 and what percentage of people, what proportion of people? And we see there were really none. But there were about 25.3% of people in grade level G07.
The let me say immaturity or the lack of growth in the private sector, and then government policy to recruit certain category of graduates may have contributed to the high percentage of people who are in the public sector. Thank you.
listening to my colleagues on the fact that we need evidence to be able to make informed decisions. There is another aspect of the applied research that I think the civil service, we have a little issue with. And I think this course will be able to help us do a rigorous evaluations of some interventions that we think would solve some of the problems that we identify. So sometimes we do research, we come up with recommendations or issues that we think those recommendations could solve, but we are not so sure if these interventions are really going to work. So another aspect of our work is to really evaluate the interventions that we have in mind and see which one actually works for us.
Respondents are happy to participate if they know that the information they are providing you is going to be used to bring improvement into their life or bring improvement into their organization. Most of the time, people know their problems, they know their challenges, but what they lack or what they think they lack is the capacity to effect change. And so if out of the research or the data they are providing you, the information they are providing you, it will bring about some change in their environment, in their office, and in their work, they will happily do that.
Hi, everyone. It's an honor for me to be able to join you today. One of the best parts of my job is realizing that what I do, I have counterparts in every other country, and truly, like, the issues we face, whether I am speaking to a large country or a small local government, we all have the same exact issues when it comes to civil service. How do we hire? How do we manage? How do we compensate? So I always enjoy a lot of these conversations.